So before moving on with the material for the tree and the flower, let's set up some basic karma scene. As you can see, I already created some basic floor. It's just a grid going up with some bevel value, so we can have some background. And let's save the scene and go into the stage. So here let's take some mesh. We want a SOP create, and in here we want an object merge so we can take the floor. So obj floor out floor, and let's call this floor. Then we want to take the vase, so go inside here, change the link of the object merge, so the vase. And also let's merge here the dirt so we can see it together. And let's just separate it with some group so we can apply different material to those. This will be the base. Yeah, we didn't have the group. And this will be the dirt. Let's merge it. And from outside here we want to specify to the import data the subset group, otherwise the group we just created won't be imported into the stage. So let's just merge these two guys together, and here let's for now just apply a dome light. Choose whatever texture you want. I will take where it is my HDRI. I will take this Natural Studio, so something like this. Then take a material library, and inside let's create three materials, karma material builders for now. One for the floor, one for the vase, and one for the dirt, which are the items we have so far in this stage. And actually I want to set the material first and then the light. I want to take a material linker, or rather first on the material library we need to click here, so it will auto-complete the material present in the library. And on the material linker, let's drag the floor for the floor, the vase for the vase, but double click on the rule, and here we want to take only, it should be mesh 0 because we didn't rename it. Let me check the name of the vase. Yeah, mesh underscore 0. So mesh underscore 0. And we want to target the vase group. So everything which has the vase name in the group. Accept and do the same for the dirt. So we can also copy this rule and paste it here, but we want to change it to dirt. Accept. And now the material should be correctly applied. Let's see. It seems to be. So let's set, yeah. So for the floor, we don't want to use any texture. We just want to use some plain standard colors. So let's set it to some dark value, maybe with a hint of blue or purple, something like this. And for now, let's just drop down the specular. Now, for the vase and the dirt, we still didn't write texture out. So we want to take where is the MTLX image node? This will be the same for the texture, but since we don't have the texture yet, we can simply target the null we created in the COP network with the OP double dot and then slash, and you choose the pact. So obj, this is the material for the vase, so vase, and we want to look for the copnet and the out base color. So if we plug this to the base color, we have the texture working. So this is being interpreted as color. This is fine. Let's duplicate it. Take the null for the roughness, and this time we want to be as float because it's a mono texture, and this will be on the specular roughness, and duplicate it again. This time we need to feed it first into a normal map node, so this will target the out NRM. This is a vector tree as a map. It will go in the in of the normal map, and this will go in the, where is it? In the geometry tab, normal. So if we go outside on the stage, let's plug the dome light and let's drop down a karma setup. And yes, I want to switch, I don't want to switch it to XPU, so let's plug it as it is. It will complain that it doesn't have a camera yet, that's fine. And let's save, maybe let's decrease, let's set it to manual for now, and let's set it as 480 by 480, and let's see what it is. So it seems the texture are working. And my advice, once you have some texture that you like, write it as an image. It will be faster than this live grabbing from a Copernicus network. So once you are happy with a texture, basically if you want, you can write it as an XCR using a cable pack. I'm using a standard PNG, and all you want to do is to drop down an image output like this, that it needs to point to the correct channel you want to export. Like for the base color, you specify out base color in the cop path, and here you can give it a name. For this one, I'm basically using the job variable in the text subfolder, and this piece is telling take the cop name. So basically it's calling itself copdirt 2 times because I want to create a subfolder, and then the operator name appended with an underscore. So, and you also need to look for the color space conversion. By default, the raw image output is set to automatic. You want to set the color space for the base color as an sRGB texture, and for all the other maps you want the raw values, like for the roughness, for the normal, and also for the height map. Once you're happy with your setting, you just hit render and the texture will be brought on disk. Then you just need to go on the materials, and let's say for the vase, you want to change this path with the actual texture written on disk. Like for the vase, I have a bunch of tries, but I want to target the base color PNG. So something like this. Also make sure then when you switch map, the signature won't be changed in a wrong way, so the roughness will always need to be float, and the normal is a vector tree. So I finished to replace the texture for the vase and the dirt, and in the dirt material I also, on the displacement channel, added the height map as not a color, it needs to be a float on the displacement, which I lowered to 0.1. And this doesn't go in the standard surface, it has its channel, the displacement guy. So let's introduce some more lightning. I want to take an area light, place it after the dome one, and maybe for the time being disable the dome. I want to set the intensity to 600. And basically I know that my shot will be something like this, so I want to place it on the left side. And sometimes the width and the height aren't available, this time they are, so I want to set the width to 12 and the height to 10, something like this. and I want to set the position to something like this. So let's create also a camera before the karma render node, so it will also stop complaining about it. And let's look from the camera. Here I want to set it to 2. Let's go further away, maybe 2.1. Let's place the camera to 60 and maybe a little bit of rotation, 6 degrees. And I want to change the focal length to something like this in the start, and then we will lower it within the animation. So for now, let's keep it like this to frame the old tree. So if we plug the dome light back and take a test render, I always try to click on XPU, restart the render. We should have some main lightning on the left side. And for the dome light, now that we have a main source, we want to lower it to something like 0.2 and maybe find some more interesting angle. Let's set it. I have it at 600 in my scene for some reason. And I also want to shape the spotlight so we have something like this, 30 degrees, so it won't project so much lighting on the background. Now for the floor, we actually want some reflection, and let me unplug this guy. I will explain what it is, but for now, if we restart the render and you put the specular back to 1, you have something like this. I like the reflection here, but I don't want the reflection back there in the z-axis. So what I did is basically taking the position of the object with this MTLX position, and I only care about the z because I want to turn off the reflection as we go on the z, and I fitted between 0 and a maximum range, so minus 40 unit going into the z, clamping the value, and then feeding a ramp so I could basically filter out and give the max reflection to maybe a range like this, and further fitting between 0.2 and 0.6. Basically, the roughness of the floor with this sort of setup goes from 0.2 here, and here probably the ramp kicks in, something like this, and it will decrease until 0.6. So here we have less reflection than here.